Good guys, my name is Lord Tomo and we have the good old blues to there, Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog up there, depending on which Sonic you want to look at. This is another rambling episode. For those who don't know, my rambling episodes is literally just me looking into the cam and talking about any topic that comes into mind, either one that I'm choosing or the one you may recommend I talk about. So in this case, I'm going to be talking about the recently labeled and announced Sonic Forces. It was actually announced-ish, technically, last year in San Diego Comic-Con, which was called Project Sonic 2017. This past week in South by Southwest Convention, they've actually officially named it, and it is called Sonic Forces. I apologize for my voice, I'm a bit under the weather, so that's why I have a dark, rusky sort of voice, and yeah, it is what it is. Now, I've watched the game trailer and I've watched the I've seen a few pictures, and I wouldn't say I've read articles because the articles more or less coincide with one another, but based on the pictures and based on the actual gameplay, I picked up on a few things that I didn't necessarily see in the various articles that I have seen. Maybe they've neglected to talk about it, or maybe it's an oversight that they've never necessarily looked into, but it's something that I've noticed that I would like to more or less talk to you guys about. Maybe you noticed it, maybe we could discuss fan theories. What was I going to say? Fan theories and all that sort of stuff. So, and of course it's just me more or less seeing what I would like in this game, what's my general opinion of the game currently, based on the 40 odd seconds of the gameplay that is more or less shown, of course. So pardon about that. So essentially, straight from the get-go, the first thing you guys should necessarily pick up is the title itself. If you follow the Sonic franchise for a while, you should, in theory, this happens with most games, if not all games, the title itself has a severe implication, not severe, but a handful, I'm just going to stick with severe, a severe implication on what the game core mechanics and core storyline is going to be, without actually revealing nothing. So it gives you everything, but gives you nothing. I'll explain that. For example, in Sonic Colors, one of the core emphasis is the color aspect. By the colors, it deals with the whiffs. Various whiffs gives you different abilities, and therefore, as you take upon those abilities, you're able to do various things: fly, gravitate, drill, faster speed, etc., etc. So, that's a prime example of telling you the core mechanics and the core storyline without actually telling you the core mechanics and without telling you the storyline. So, another example would be Sonic Heroes. It delves into the core mechanic it delves in with the mechanics that you have Sonic, Knuckles, and Team Sonic, for example, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. The core mechanic being Sonic the speed, Knuckles the strength, and Tails, of course, the fly. That works with the various other teams: Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotic. And so that's another prime example of giving you the core mechanics without actually telling you what the core mechanics are. Now, that can also be applied to Sonic Generation. Sonic Generation delves into the core mechanics, that is Sonic the Hedgehog and modern and classic Sonic the Hedgehogs as the core mechanics, as a commemorative sort of, hey, look, this is, Sonic's kind of big thing, so let's make our game exclusively about them. So all that being said and done, we then get into Sonic Forces. It tells us nothing other than, well, you could make assumptions, but it tells you nothing about the core mechanics or the core storylines, but it does give you a hint. If you follow all the past trends of how the titling goes and how the mechanics of those games necessarily unfolded, you can then speculate, of course I have no proof of this, but you could then speculate that the core mechanics would be that of a external cooperative sense. If not from a story point of view, it deals with a unified team effort to take down the greater threat. For example, in Sonic Adventure, I know it made it explicitly clear in this game that it's only going to be Sonic, modern Sonic, and classic Tails. But I feel the third element, which they've hinted on, could be kind of a world building system. Pardon me, a world building system, or a system whereby you deal with forces, kind of like a chess piece of sorts. You have, like, I don't know, I'm only speculating here. You have like the Tails division where you can basically take over, I don't know, a certain zone, or you can have like an Amy division taking a certain zone, etc., etc. Dealing with a forces element to it, basically implying that you're dealing with more forces or more units, or I know I'm really stretching it here. I truly am. You're probably sitting there thinking, where's this going on about? How does it even make that connection? But what I'm trying to get at is the core mechanics that I feel is not just purely going to be Sonic, modern Sonic, and classic Sonic and modern Sonic. Of course, that's going to be the hardcore staple to it. But I think the greater third element would have to be, in my minds of minds, a element in which they'll bring in a character or characters which you may not necessarily play as them directly, but they impact the overall storyline and the progression of the actual storyline, if not mechanics. Basically, I feel, this is just me being wishful and hopeful, I feel if they kind of have like, you know, Tails is being the tech guy, he creates, I don't know, weaponry and all that sort of stuff to take down the stronger Badniks, whereby, I don't know, Knuckles is the heavy guy who would ally troops to basically take certain parts. I don't think it's going to be super comprehensive like a strategy game in that sense, but I feel like that's going to be an element. I'll explain why my theory is that just that. I've seen the initial, if you haven't seen the 40-second gameplay footage, I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a link down below. Please check it out. It's from the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube page. But if you see the 40-second gameplay picture, it brings so much information out without actually revealing so much. Now that actually brings me to my second point, which is, pardon me, it's taking a more, I got a few notes here, which defeats the purpose of it being random, but it takes more of a serious tone. Now, automatically, unlike other Sonic's games, you could argue that most of Sonic games are more serious and all that sort of stuff. I get that, but I feel with this game in particular, it really takes a greater impact, in my personal opinion, for two reasons. They released a teaser art where you basically have Sonic on top of like on a cliff, and you have one of Dr. Robotnik's, which I think plays homage to the Sonic Adventure 2 robot, where, you know, the final boss where Robotnik goes into a robot and he's got like spikes. I think he plays homage to that personally, where he's basically decimating the full scope or the full area that it's currently in, and it kind of gives you this impending look where you're just like, oh Christ, you know, Robotnik's actually going to win. He's not just capturing little zones or little animals. He's like fully decimating the zone. Now that does have a implication. With most games, Dr. Robotnik kind of played a second character villain, in that he brings out a stronger villain. The villain is the main villain and does its thing, and Robotnik is like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. In this game in particular, I think Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman, I'm just going to say Dr. Robotnik, that's what I'm used to. Dr. Robotnik plays this very, you know, I'm not going to swear, but F this attitude. I'm going to go in and invade and conquer. I'm going to be doing it. No Chaos, no Metal Sonic, no Iblis Trigger, none of that. I'm going to go in with my army and completely decimate everything. And I feel that that's what Robotnik is doing. And Sonic is pretty much on a stage where he alone cannot win this, which is why I'm hinting to the possibility with the forces element. I think Sonic is going to be leading the charge, doing critical missions, but the third element is going to be a strategic element where basically you're going to be, I don't know, collecting resources and all that. Speculation, by the way, collecting resources and creating subpar groups and all that, and destroying certain areas, kind of like an advanced strategy-based element to it, not a hardcore one, a very basic one. I know that's a far stretch, but if they did that, bravo Sonic Team, bravo, you sure got me. Because I say that's a possibility, because if they purely just make speed stages and speed stages only, the game's going to be short. I know it's going to be short unless you want to go for full 100% completion, collect everything. I feel like it's going to be short. So the forces element, I think, is going to be that. So the picture is Sonic M. Now in the video clip, the first thing you see is this massive egg monster, or I don't even know what's officially called, but I'm going to call it an egg buster. Oh, that's pretty cool. Egg robot, but I'm going to call it an egg buster, because it's literally destroying an area within the actual town. And if you look closely, you have little turrets. You don't specifically see who's manning these turrets, but you have these turrets shooting towards the robot. And you kind of wonder, like, you know, Sonic is trying to do his thing, but other people are fighting back. Like, you rarely ever saw that in a Sonic game that I can recollect, where Sonic, it's always been Sonic saves everything, or his team saves everything, and everybody else pretty much says, yeah, congratulations. But you never really see civilians, as far as there could be civilians or militants, you never see them basically shoot, retaliate in that sense, which I think adds to the whole forces element. Purely speculation, it is what it is, but it's definitely taking a serious tone, and I think, honestly, phenomenal, like they're taking a serious tone. It's not to say the other titles weren't serious. I think this one takes it to dare I say, Sonic 06 seriousness, without hopefully him making out with the princess. I mean, are you into that? To me, I was a bit anyway. After that, you see this one particular thing. Now, supposedly they've released a speculation that this isn't a direct sequel to Generations, which is fair enough. You could argue that this is a sequel to the whole entire franchise. It is what it is. But direct sequel to Generation, it's not. Apparently, Izuka basically said that it's not a sequel, which is fair enough. But you do see interesting amounts of homages, if not little key elements to what potentially could be the storyline, or homages or throwbacks to previous games, like for example Colors. Now hopefully I'm going to put a picture on this so I can show you guys, but if you look closely at the video clip, and obviously the picture when I put it up, these little capsules, they look like they're actually whips from the Sonic Colors. However, these whips look like they're drained. So I don't know if they add to the element in that they just provide speed boost, like a meter speed boost to Sonic, so he can run faster, or they're kind of like different Wisp had different abilities like flight and everything, like the previous games, right? But if you look at them, they look like Wisp, but they look totally a little different. Like it's odd. It's like very alien-like. I feel like they could be Wisp, but at the same time, I feel like it's an alien race. Now, the reason why I think it's Wisp is because it adds to, once again, the title of Sonic Forces, which implies that you have to gather all your forces from past generation games and everything to basically systematically take down Robotnik as a unit, as a group. My voice sounds so deep. I could be one. It sounds so deep. Throwing that off, but essentially gives you this vibe that it's not just Sonic taking down Robotnik. It has to be more. It has to be beyond the capacity of Sonic to do it himself. So yes, you will be playing Sonic Modern and Classic, but I feel like there's going to be an element which adds the possibility of having other forces join in, not gameplay directly like running around, but in other means like building structures and all that sort of stuff. That's my 2 cents on that. Now after that, after you see those two little Wisp capsules, you see two possible Badniks. You see one looks like a typical drone, which was first more or less introduced, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Sonic Adventure, the first one, but they're not as colorful. What you'll notice in this game in particular, the Badniks in particular, they're not as colorful, which really reinforces the idea that, hey, maybe Robotnik's kind of like washed his hand and said, enough's enough, it's time to get down and dirty, it's time to get serious. So the first one you're obviously going to see is just a normal humanoid Badnik, which kind of has a Mega Man buster of sorts which shoots. I think is pretty good. The second one looks like a buzz bomber, but a more jet-like. Doesn't actually look like a bug-ish, but it kind of looks like a falcon of sorts. As to what he does to attack, I don't know. I think he's just kind of like a poker of sorts. But those are the two Badniks, which they look what they look like. As to those are the two major Badniks that I saw. I do feel that that massive Badnik that you see in the beginning of the gameplay is going to be a boss or a mini boss at least. So that'll be interesting to see. Now another game mechanic that this game is definitely more notorious about is I a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, but a vocal amount of people complaining that it's too much of a Railrunner, as in there's just one path and you just meant to run forward and that sort of stuff. Now, you could argue that that's what Sonic has always been. If you think about it, once you memorize one path, your idea is you're meant to constantly play that path and increase your speed time, right? That's generally speaking. But another core mechanic of Sonic is diversion. So it's just one path. It's about 3 paths, and it goes either direction. It's definitely prevalent in this game trailer in particular, simply because you have red rings. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about the concept of the red rings, or the red star rings, depending on how you want to call them, I think it was introduced in Sonic, I want to say Sonic Adventure 2. It's been a while. I know in Sonic Generations. I'm sure it's in Sonic Colors. I'm going to say Sonic Adventure 2. If I do, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sonic Adventure 2, where basically the idea in this game anyway, in this game core mechanics, the idea is if you take a grander risk, if you take the path less walked, you'll be rewarded, and the reward is the red ring. And I don't know what they're going to use it for this one. I feel like it's going to be unlocking, I don't know, like pictures, and I wouldn't say gear because that's crucial to the gameplay, but I think it would unlock certain things that would enhance your militia. I'm really emphasizing on the militia aspect here. A part of me really wants it to happen. I know there are a lot of Sonic purists who essentially just want, I just want to fight Sonic the Hedgehog and that's it, nothing more. Me, it's not that I've grown tired of it. I just want something more diverse. You know what I mean? I want something like, yeah, okay, the speed zones are pretty awesome, my reaction time is pretty awesome, but throw me a bone, throw me something else. And I'm grabbing, in my mind I'm thinking Sonic Forces, militia, you're going to be controlling little armies, not like strategy wise, but kind of like Knuckles' team, you move into this zone, you destroy this base, you do your thing, Amy's Force, you do, I don't know, that's just, I'm being hurtful. I'm really being hurtful. If I'm right, I'm going to pat myself on the back like a 5-year-old grader, but that's what I'm thinking. So you get red rings, and these red rings are essentially designed to, for the most part anyway, to promote diversion of the path that you take, and also repayability to collect the red rings when you want to collect them, and of course to I wouldn't say promote, to reward players for taking risks that they might not necessarily take, which I think is phenomenal. Those are the points that I currently have, and look, overall I'm really ecstatic of this game. I'll probably say I'm more ecstatic about this game than I am Sonic Mania. I pre-ordered the collector's edition for Sonic Mania. I'm really hopeful that it's being that it's a 2D sprite game, I'm really hopeful that it's going to be a very long game, similar to the time span that of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, with the Knuckles expansion pack, kind of like makes a storyline where you have to save midway, and it was just like you really have to get into it. I haven't gotten too much information, or I don't know about Sonic Mania, but I really wanted to focus in this particular video about Sonic Forces, simply because whereby Sonic Mania emphasizes kind of on a cutesy retro feel to it, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but that it's a vibe where Sonic is going to win, everybody's happy dandy, everybody's going to give high fives and drink sodas and, you know, eat hot dogs and chili dogs. Gotta get that right before somebody tells me off. But with Sonic Forces, what's one of the major appealing aspect to it is the emphasis on forces. I know there's something to it. I know there is. I'm gonna wait for it, and when I find it, I'm gonna make a video about it, and I'll be like, haha, I was right. And then you'll be like, bravo, Tomo, bravo. But the other cool aspect of this game in particular is I've always liked the idea where the protagonist doesn't necessarily win automatically from the get-go, you know? I want Sonic to struggle. I know that sounds pretty satanic. That's pretty demonic. And that sounds pretty critical on a character, beloved character that I grew up. But I want him to be the prevalent hero that I've always wanted him to be as a kid, you know? Rarely do we truly ever see, unless you want to argue Sonic Adventure 1, where Chaos pretty much destroys the city. This one implies, in my eyes, that Robotnik is pretty much destroying the whole world. I guess you could argue Sonic Unleashed was kind of the same, but it's never truly been Dr. Robotnik's doing. He kind of opened the gateway, Pandora's box, to allow other creatures to destroy the world. It's never been Robotnik. In this one in particular, I truly feel from the heart of hearts, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, modern and classic, taking on Dr. Robotnik, the retro feel, the retro vibe. you know, light versus dark. I said Sonic here, right? Anyway, so light versus dark, you know, Sonic versus Robotnik. That's a throwback to the old school ways. Most Sonic games recently, it's always been, Robotnik opens up the Ark. Oh no, Shadow's the mad villain. Okay. Oh no, it's Biohazard. Okay, Robotnik's not really a fault. He is, but he isn't. Sonic Adventure 2. No, Sonic Adventure 1, he unleashes chaos. It wasn't really him. You know, Sonic 06, Robotnik wanted to release, you know, the demonic god of destruction. He did, but he never really did the destruction. It's always something else, you know. I always wanted a truly prevalent fight between, not fight, but a truly prevalent fight between the intelligent Robotnik versus Sonic the Hedgehog. Those two clashes. I've never really, not that it's any bad, but I've always I never truly appreciated as much the external forces, being that it's Chaos, Biohazard, Black Doom from the Shadow the Hedgehog franchise, or any of those natures. I was, you know, or even what's the other one, Sonic Lost Worlds, with Zavok and the rest of the characters. Me personally, I've always liked the concept of Sonic, you know, versus Robotnik. Those are my thoughts. I probably rambled a lot. That's why this series is called Rambling. So if you've stayed this far, awesome. If you haven't, you know, it is what it is. I can't complain. Guys, let me know what your thoughts, what your theories. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you know something that I don't know? Leave comments below. I would love to hear. It's always the fun of the game, you know, hearing different ideas. Speed on, take care. Until next time.